Section 11 of Pensees. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Derek McLaughlin, London, Ontario, Canada. Latin language reading by Lenny, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Pensees by Blaise Pascal. Translated by W. F. Trotter. Section 11. The Prophecies. Part 2. 722. Daniel chapter 2. All thy soothsayers and wise men cannot show unto thee the secret which thou hast demanded. But there is a God in heaven who can do so, and hath revealed to thee in thy dream what shall be in the latter days. This dream must have caused him much misgiving. And it is not by my own wisdom that I have knowledge of this secret, but by the revelation of this same God, that hath revealed it to me, to make it manifest in thy presence. Thy dream was then of this kind. Thou sawest a great image, high and terrible, which stood before thee. His head was of gold, his breast and arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thus thou sawest, till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and of clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and the wind carried them away. But this stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and now I will give thee the interpretation thereof. Thou, who art the greatest of kings, and to whom God hath given a power so vast that thou art renowned among all people, art the head of gold which thou hast seen. But after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. But the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, and even as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, so shall this empire break in pieces, and bruise all. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of iron, and of the weakness of clay. But as iron cannot be firmly mixed with clay, so they who are represented by the iron and by the clay shall not cleave one to another, though united by marriage. Now in the days of these kings shall God set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, nor ever be delivered up to other people. It shall break in pieces, and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever, according as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it fell from the mountain, and brake in pieces, the iron, the clay, the silver, and the gold. God hath made known to thee what shall come to pass hereafter. This dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Then Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face towards the earth, etc. Daniel chapter 8, verse 8. Daniel, having seen the combat of the ram and of the he-goat, who vanquished him and ruled over the earth, whereof the principal horn being broken, 4 others came up toward the 4 winds of heaven, and out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the land of Israel. And it waxed great even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the stars, and stamped upon them, and at last overthrew the prince, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. This is what Daniel saw. He sought the meaning of it, and a voice cried in this manner, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision. And Gabriel said, The ram which thou sawest is the king of the Medes and Persians, and the he-goat is the king of Greece, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king of this monarchy. Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when iniquities are come to the full, there shall arise a king, insolent and strong, but not by his own power, to whom all things shall succeed after his own will, and he shall destroy the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall perish miserably, and nevertheless by a violent hand. Daniel chapter 9, verse 20. Whilst I was praying with all my heart, and confessing my sin and the sin of all my people, and prostrating myself before my God, even Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, came to me and touched me about the time of the evening oblation, and he informed me and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to give thee the knowledge of things. At the beginning of thy supplications I came to show that which thou didst desire, for thou art greatly beloved. Therefore understand the matter, and consider the vision. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people, and upon thy holy city, to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to abolish iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, to accomplish the vision and the prophecies, and to anoint the most holy. After which this people shall be no more thy people, nor this city the holy city. The times of wrath shall be past, and the years of grace shall come forever. Know therefore and understand that, from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince, shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. The Hebrews were accustomed to divide numbers, and to place the small first. Thus 7 and 62 make 69. Of this 70 there will then remain the 70th, that is to say, the 7 last years, of which he will speak next. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times. And after 62 weeks, which have followed the first 7, Christ will then be killed after the 69 weeks, that is to say, in the last week. The Christ shall be cut off, and a people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and overwhelm all, and the end of that war shall accomplish the desolation. Now 1 week, which is the 70th, which remains, shall confirm the covenant with many, and in the midst of the week, that is to say, the last 3½ years, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Daniel chapter 11. The angel said to Daniel, There shall stand up yet, after Cyrus, under whom this still is, 3 kings in Persia, Cambyses, Smirdis, Darius. And the 4th who shall then come, Xerxes, shall be far richer than they all, and far stronger, and shall stir up all his people against the Greeks. But a mighty king shall stand up, Alexander, that shall rule with great dominion, and do according to his will. And when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken, and shall be divided in 4 parts toward the 4 winds of heaven, as he had said above, chapter 6, verse 6, chapter 8, verse 8. But not his posterity, and his successors shall not equal his power, for his kingdom shall be plucked up, even for others besides these, his 4 chief successors. And the king of the south, Ptolemy, son of Lagos, Egypt, shall be strong, but one of his princes shall be strong above him, and his dominion shall be a great dominion. Seleucus, king of Syria. Appian says that he was the most powerful of Alexander's successors. And in the end of years they shall join themselves together, and the king's daughter of the south, Berenice, daughter of Ptolemy Philadelphus, son of the other Ptolemy, shall come to the king of the north, to Antiochus Deus, king of Syria and of Asia, son of Seleucus Lagadas, to make peace between these princes. But neither she nor her seed shall have a long authority, for she and they that brought her, and her children, and her friends, shall be delivered to death. Berenice and her son were killed by Seleucus Callinicus. But out of a branch of her roots shall one stand up. Ptolemy Euergetes was the issue of the same father as Berenice, which shall come with a mighty army into the land of the king of the north, where he shall put all under subjection, and he shall also carry captive into Egypt their gods, their princes, their gold, their silver, and all their precious spoils. If he had not been called into Egypt by domestic reasons, says Justin, he would have entirely stripped Seleucus. And he shall continue several years, when the king of the north can do naught against him. And so he shall return into his kingdom. But his sons shall be stirred up, and shall assemble a multitude of great forces. Seleucus Caranus, Antiochus the Great. And their army shall come and overthrow all, wherefore the king of the south shall be moved with choler, and shall also form a great army, and fight him, Ptolemy Philopator, against Antiochus the Great, at Raphia, and conquer, and his troops shall become insolent, and his heart shall be lifted up. This Ptolemy desecrated the temple, Josephus. He shall cast down many 10,000s, but he shall not be strengthened by it. For the king of the north, Antiochus the Great, shall return with a greater multitude than before, and in those times also a great number of enemies shall stand up against the king of the south, during the reign of the young Ptolemy Epiphanes. Also the apostates and robbers of thy people shall exalt themselves to establish the vision, but they shall fall. Those who abandon their religion to please Euergetes, when he will send his troops to Scopus, for Antiochus will again take Scopus and conquer them. And the king of the north shall destroy the fenced cities, and the arms of the south shall not withstand, and all shall yield to his will. He shall stand in the land of Israel, and it shall yield to him. And thus he shall think to make himself master of all the empire of Egypt, despising the youth of Epiphanes, says Justin. And for that he shall make alliance with him, and give his daughter, Cleopatra, in order that she may betray her husband. On which Appian says that, doubting his ability to make himself master of Egypt by force, because of the protection of the Romans, he wished to attempt it by cunning. He shall wish to corrupt her, but she shall not stand on his side, neither be for him. Then he shall turn his face to other designs, and shall think to make himself master of some isles, that is to say, seaports, and shall take many, as Appian says. But a prince shall oppose his conquests, Scipio Africanus, who stopped the progress of Antiochus the Great because he offended the Romans in the person of their allies, and shall cause the reproach offered by him to cease. He shall then return into his kingdom, and there perish, and be no more. He was slain by his soldiers. And he who shall stand up in his estate, Seleucus Philopator, or Soter, the son of Antiochus the Great, shall be a tyrant, a raiser of taxes in the glory of the kingdom, which means the people. But within a few days he shall be destroyed, neither in anger nor in battle. And in his place shall stand up a vile person, unworthy of the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in cleverly by flatteries. All armies shall bend before him. He shall conquer them, and even the prince with whom he has made a covenant. For having renewed the league with him, he shall work deceitfully, and enter with a small people into his province, peaceably and without fear. He shall take the fattest places, and shall do that which his fathers have not done, and ravage on all sides. He shall forecast great devices during his time. 723. Prophecies. The 70 weeks of Daniel are ambiguous as regards the term of commencement, because of the terms of the prophecy, and as regards the term of conclusion, because of the differences among chronologists. But all this difference extends only to 200 years. 724. Predictions. That in the fourth monarchy, before the destruction of the second temple, before the dominion of the Jews was taken away, in the 70th week of Daniel, during the continuance of the second temple, the heathen should be instructed and brought to the knowledge of the God worshipped by the Jews, that those who loved him should be delivered from their enemies and filled with his fear and love. And it happened that in the fourth monarchy, before the destruction of the second temple, etc., the heathen in great number worshipped God, and led an angelic life. Maidens dedicated their virginity and their life to God. Men renounced their pleasures. What Plato could only make acceptable to a few men, specially chosen and instructed, a secret influence imparted by the power of a few words to 100 million ignorant men. The rich left their wealth. Children left the dainty homes of their parents to go into the rough desert. See Philo the Jew. All this was foretold a great while ago. For 2,000 years no heathen had worshipped the God of the Jew, and at the time foretold a great number of the heathen worshipped this only God. The temples were destroyed. The very kings made submission to the cross. All this was due to the Spirit of God, which was spread abroad upon the earth. No heathen, since Moses until Jesus Christ, believed according to the very rabbis. A great number of the heathen after Jesus Christ believed in the books of Moses, kept them in substance and spirit, and only rejected what was useless. 725. Prophecies. The conversion of the Egyptians, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 19, an altar in Egypt to the true God. 726. Prophecies. In Egypt, Pugio Fide, page 659, Talmud. It is a tradition among us that, when the Messiah shall come, the house of God, destined for the dispensation of his word, shall be full of filth and impurity, and that the wisdom of the scribes shall be corrupt and rotten. Those who shall be afraid to sin shall be rejected by the people and treated as senseless fools. Isaiah chapter 49. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from afar. The Lord hath called me by my name from the womb of my mother. In the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and hath made my words like a sharp sword, and said unto me, Thou art my servant, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, Lord, have I labored in vain? Have I spent my strength for naught? Yet surely my judgment is with thee, O Lord, and my work with thee. And now, saith the Lord, that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob and Israel again to him, Thou shalt be glorious in my sight, and I will be thy strength. It is a light thing that thou shouldst convert the tribes of Jacob. I have raised thee up for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the ends of the earth. Thus saith the Lord to him whom man despiseth, to him whom the nation abhorreth, to a servant of rulers. Princes and kings shall worship thee, because the Lord is faithful that hath chosen thee. Again saith the Lord unto me, I have heard thee in the days of salvation and of mercy, and I will preserve thee for a covenant of the people, to cause to inherit the desolate nations, that thou mayest say to the prisoners, Go forth, to them that are in darkness show yourselves, and possess these abundant and fertile lands. They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither shall the heat nor sun smite them. For he that hath mercy upon them shall lead them, even by the springs of waters shall he guide them, and make the mountains a way before them. Behold, the peoples shall come from all parts, from the east and from the west, from the north and from the south. Let the heavens give glory to God, let the earth be joyful, for it hath pleased the Lord to comfort his people, and he will have mercy upon the poor who hope in him. Yet Zion dared to say, The Lord hath forsaken me, and hath forgotten me. Can a woman forget her child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? But if she forget, yet will not I forget thee, O Zion. I will bear thee always between my hands, and thy walls are continually before me. They that shall build thee are come, and thy destroyers shall go forth of thee. Lift up thine eyes round about, and behold, all these gather themselves together, and come to thee. As I live, saith the Lord, thou shalt surely clothe thee with them all, as with an ornament. Thy waste and thy desolate places, and the land of thy destruction, shall even now be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants. And the children thou shalt have after thy barrenness shall say again in thy ears, The place is too strait for me, give place to me that I may dwell. Then shalt thou say in thy heart, Who hath begotten me these? Seeing I have lost my children, and am desolate, a captive, and removing to and fro. And who brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. Where had they been? And the Lord shall say to thee, Behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms and in their bosoms. And kings shall be their nursing fathers, and queens their nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty? But even if the captives be taken away from the strong, nothing shall hinder me from saving thy children, and from destroying thy enemies. And all flesh shall know that I am the Lord, thy Saviour and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Thus saith the Lord, What is the bill of this divorcement, wherewith I have put away the synagogue? And why have I delivered it into the hands of your enemies? Is it not for your iniquities and for your transgressions that I have put it away? For I came, and no man received me. I called, and there was none to hear. Is my arm shortened that I cannot redeem? Therefore I will show the tokens of mine anger. I will clothe the heavens with darkness, and make sackcloth their covering. The Lord hath given me the tongue of the learned, that I should know how to speak a word in season to him that is weary. He hath opened mine ear, and I have listened to him as a master. The Lord hath revealed his will, and I was not rebellious. I gave my body to the smiters, and my cheeks to outrage. I hid not my face from shame and spitting. But the Lord hath helped me, therefore I have not been confounded. He is near that justifieth me. Who will contend with me? Who will be mine adversary, and accuse me of sin? God himself being my protector. All men shall pass away, and be consumed by time. Let those that fear God hearken to the voice of his servant. Let him that languisheth in darkness put his trust in the Lord. But as for you, ye do but kindle the wrath of God upon you. Ye walk in the light of your fire, and in the sparks that ye have kindled. This shall ye have of mine hand. Ye shall lie down in sorrow. Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that seek the Lord. Look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bare you. For I called him alone, when childless, and increased him. Behold, I have comforted Zion, and heaped upon her blessings and consolations. Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, for a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the Gentiles. Amos chapter 8. The prophet, having enumerated the sins of Israel, said that God had sworn to take vengeance on them. He says this, And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. And I will turn your feasts into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. You all shall have sorrow and suffering, and I will make this nation mourn as for an only son, and the end therefore as a bitter day. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. They that have followed the idols of Samaria, and sworn by the God of Dan, and followed the manner of Beersheba, shall fall, and never rise up again. Amos chapter 3, verse 2. Ye only have I known of all the families of the earth for my people. Daniel chapter 12, verse 7. Having described all the extent of the reign of the Messiah, he says, All these things shall be finished, when the scattering of the people of Israel shall be accomplished. Haggai chapter 2, verse 4. Ye, who comparing this second house with the glory of the first, despise it, be strong, saith the Lord. Be strong, O Zerubbabel, and O Jesus, the high priest, be strong, all ye people of the land, and work. For I am with you, saith the Lord of hosts. According to the word that I covenanted with you when ye came out of Egypt, so my spirit remaineth among you. Fear ye not, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, Yet one little while, and I will shake the heavens, and the earth, and the sea, and the dry land. A way of speaking to indicate a great and an extraordinary change. And I will shake all nations, and the desire of all the Gentiles shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith the Lord. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith the Lord. That is to say, it is not by that I wish to be honored, as it is said elsewhere. All the beasts of the field are mine. What advantages me that they are offered to me in sacrifice? The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former, saith the Lord of hosts. And in this place will I establish my house, saith the Lord. According to all that thou desirest in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, Let us not hear again the voice of the Lord, neither let us see this fire any more, that we die not. And the Lord said unto me, Their prayer is just. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass, that whosoever will not hearken unto my words which he will speak in my name, I will require it of him. Genesis chapter 49. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise, and thou shalt conquer thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up, and art couched as a lion, and as a lioness that shall be roused up. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. 727. During the life of the Messiah. Enigmatis. Ezekiel chapter 17. His forerunner. Malachi chapter 3. He will be born an infant. Isaiah chapter 9. He will be born in the village of Bethlehem. Micah chapter 5. He will appear chiefly in Jerusalem, and will be a descendant of the family of Judah and of David. He is to blind the learned and the wise. Isaiah chapters 6, 8, 29, etc. And to preach the gospel to the lowly. Isaiah chapter 29. To open the eyes of the blind, give health to the sick, and to bring light to those that languish in darkness. Isaiah chapter 61. He is to show the perfect way, and be the teacher of the Gentiles. Isaiah chapter 55, chapter 42, verses 1 to 7. The prophecies are to be unintelligible to the wicked. Daniel chapter 12, Hosea chapter 14, verse 10. But they are to be intelligible to those who are well informed. The prophecies which represent him as poor represent him as master of the nations. Isaiah chapter 52, verse 14, etc., chapter 53, Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. The prophecies which foretell the time foretell him only as master of the nations and suffering, and not as in the clouds nor as judge. And those which represent him thus as judge and in glory do not mention the time. When the Messiah is spoken of as great and glorious, it is as the judge of the world, and not its redeemer. He is to be the victim for the sins of the world. Isaiah chapters 39, 53, etc. He is to be the precious cornerstone. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 16. He is to be a stone of stumbling and offense. Isaiah chapter 8. Jerusalem is to dash against this stone. The builders are to reject this stone. Psalm 117, verse 22. God is to make this stone the chief cornerstone, and this stone is to grow into a huge mountain and fill the whole earth. Daniel chapter 2. So he is to be rejected, despised, betrayed. Psalm 107, verse 8. Sold. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 12. Spit upon, buffeted, mocked, afflicted in innumerable ways, given gall to drink. Psalm 68. Pierced. Zechariah chapter 12. His feet and his hands pierced, slain, and lots cast for his raiment. He will rise again. Psalm 15. The third day. Hosea chapter 6, verse 3. He will ascend to heaven to sit on the right hand. Psalm 110. The kings will arm themselves against him. Psalm 2. Being on the right hand of the Father, he will be victorious over his enemies. The kings of the earth and all nations will worship him. Isaiah chapter 60. The Jews will continue as a nation. Jeremiah. They will wander without kings, etc. Hosea chapter 3. Without prophets. Amos. Looking for salvation and finding it not. Isaiah. Calling of the Gentiles by Jesus Christ. Isaiah chapter 52, verse 15, chapter 55, verse 5, chapter 60, etc. Psalm 81. Hosea chapter 1, verse 9. Ye are not my people, and I will not be your God, when ye are multiplied after the dispersion. In the places where it was said, Ye are not my people, I will call them my people. 728. It was not lawful to sacrifice outside of Jerusalem, which was the place that the Lord has chosen, nor even to eat the tithes elsewhere. Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 5, etc. Chapter 14, verse 23, etc. Chapter 15, verse 20. Chapter 16, verses 2, 7, 11, and 15. Hosea foretold that they should be without a king, without a prince, without a sacrifice, and without an idol, and this prophecy is now fulfilled, as they cannot make a lawful sacrifice out of Jerusalem. 729. Predictions. It was foretold that, in the time of the Messiah, he should come to establish a new covenant, which should make them forget the escape from Egypt. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 5, Isaiah chapter 43, verse 16. That he should place his law not in externals, but in the heart. That he should put his fear, which had only been from without, in the midst of the heart. Who does not see the Christian law in all this? 730. That then idolatry would be overthrown, that this Messiah would cast down all idols, and bring men into the worship of the true God. That the temples of the idols would be cast down, and that among all nations, and in all places of the earth, he would be offered a pure sacrifice, not of beasts. That he would be king of the Jews and Gentiles. And we see this king of the Jews and Gentiles oppressed by both, who conspire his death, and ruler of both, destroying the worship of Moses in Jerusalem, which was its center, where he made his first church, and also the worship of idols in Rome, the center of it, where he made his chief church. 731. Prophecies. That Jesus Christ will sit on the right hand, till God has subdued his enemies. Therefore he will not subdue them himself. 732. Then they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, saying, Here is the Lord. For God shall make himself known to all. Your sons shall prophesy. I will put my spirit and my fear in your heart. All that is the same thing. To prophesy is to speak of God, not from outward proofs, but from an inward and immediate feeling. 733. That he would teach men the perfect way. And there has never come before him nor after him any man who has taught anything divine approaching to this. 734. That Jesus Christ would be small in his beginning, and would then increase, the little stone of Daniel. If I had in no wise heard of the Messiah, nevertheless, after such wonderful predictions of the course of the world which I see fulfilled, I see that he is divine. And if I knew that these same books foretold a Messiah, I should be sure that he would come. And seeing that they place his time before the destruction of the second temple, I should say that he had come. 735. Prophecies. That the Jews would reject Jesus Christ, and would be rejected of God for this reason, that the chosen vine brought forth only wild grapes. That the chosen people would be faithless, ungrateful, and unbelieving.
Populum non credentem et contradicentem.
Footnote: Isaiah chapter 65, verse 2. I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, that walk in a way that is not good, after their own thoughts. Romans chapter 10, verse 21. But as to Israel, he saith, All the day long did I spread out my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people. End of footnote. That God would strike them with blindness, and in full noon they would grope like the blind, and that a forerunner would go before him. 736.
Transfixerunt.
Zechariah chapter 12, verse 10. That a deliverer should come, who would crush the demon's head and free his people from their sins.
Ex omnibus iniquitatibus.
That there should be a new covenant, which would be eternal. That there should be another priesthood after the order of Melchizedek, and that it should be eternal. That the Christ should be glorious, mighty, strong, and yet so poor that he would not be recognized, nor taken for what he is, but rejected and slain. That his people who denied him should no longer be his people. That the idolaters should receive him, and take refuge in him. That he should leave Zion to reign in the center of idolatry. That nevertheless the Jews should continue forever. That he should be of Judah, and when there should be no longer a king. End of section 11.